Hey everybody, this is Brett, and most of you know me as somebody who's willing to tell the truth at all costs and not afraid of the circumstances that happen thereafter. And so today is no exception to that. I have an interesting story to tell you that hopefully you'll be able to relate to your current situation and make some changes and improvements. So, about 11 years ago, I was living in the Ogden, Utah area, and I had graduated from massage school, and I'd passed the exam so that I could go and get a state license for massage. And I was living in a house with a rental below me, and I was kind of in charge of overseeing who was to live in that rental for the owners, and I knew the owners, and they were friends. So I'd let these kids move in there that said that they weren't smokers, and they went ahead and moved in, and then I found out that they were smoking. And then they said, well, we'll smoke outside. And I'm like, no, you said that you were not smokers at all when you moved in here. I was very angry. Then they were smoking indoors in the basement, and the smoke was coming up through the floor and into my house. And oh my God, I was mad one day, and I just took my foot and just smacked it so hard on the floor to make a big old nasty noise for them several times, Injured my ankle. And I can laugh now because the ankle is healed. But I had to move about a week later. I was getting out of Utah. I was sick of the Mormons. I was sick of the weather, the whole deal in Utah. And I was getting out, and I was moving to southern Colorado. It was the summertime. And so I packed all my stuff in boxes, and I was moving it out into the car and on top of the car, because I created this giant roof rack out of a 4x8 sheet of plywood that sat on top of my Chevy Sprint. You know those little 3-cylinder Chevy Sprints? Remember those? I had one of those. And I had this roof rack that was like huge, made out of plywood. And so anyways, I got all my stuff out there, but each day that I'd move, my ankle would feel worse. And for the life of me, I couldn't figure out why, So I got it all on the car, and I moved to Colorado, and people were taking pictures of me as I was driving down the road. And I got to Durango, and I had a dog. I could not for the life of me find a place that would allow me to move in with that dog. And you know how it is. It's so ridiculous, and I'm not going to get into that right now, but I had to move to Pagosa Springs, where there was not as much demand for places, and there was somebody that was more desperate to allow me to move into his condo. And it was a nice condo, but it was cold in Pagosa Springs. But it got cold that winter. But I was moving all my stuff into this apartment, up and down stairs, and the ankle just would get worse, and I was like, man, maybe I better go and have it x-rayed. Maybe it's broke or something in there. So I went to the hospital in Durango. They x-rayed it. It was fine. The guy just said, well, you've injured some connective tissue, some tendons in there, and you've got to stay off of it. So he gave me some crutches and told me to stay off of that. That was good advice from a doctor. Wahoo! I stayed off of it, and the more I stayed off of it, the more it healed. It got better. This was a huge lesson for me, and it can be a huge lesson for you right now. Because you see, people in this country and everywhere around the world are stressed because they have too much pressure, not on their ankles, on their minds, on their bodies, on their lifestyles, on their everything, because for some reason they've taken it all on. And it's not so easy to live in a society where there are expectations of you, where your family has expectations of you, where you have expectations on you. Maybe even creation has expectations that you achieve things, that you do things, that you accumulate things, and you accomplish blah, 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 blah. You gotta have a wife and a kid and 2 kids and a car and that whole scenario. If you are in very good health, then you may be able to legitimately take on a whole lot of things like that, and a giant student loan, etc. But if you need to heal yourself, then you need to be doing what I'm doing right here and now. Look at this. Can you hear the ocean in the distance? Yeah. I've created a situation. I don't even almost know how I've done this. It's taking faith. I don't know where I'm even going. But I know what I need. I need no stress, very little bills, to relax. I need a lot of sleep. I need good organic foods. I feel as though I've accomplished a tremendous amount of things while I've been here, and that I'm helping roughly 12 to 14,000 people a day that watch my videos. I've got a little bit of income from my videos. Now, I can't tell you exactly how you can achieve your healing situation. Each person is going to be totally different. But if you need to do some intense healing, the more intense the healing that you need to do, the more it is that you need to relieve yourself of stresses and encumbrances, etc. Just like the crutches helped me to get the weight off of my ankle so that it can heal, you may need some crutches too. I hope you're well.